In the vast and uncharted reaches of space, the war between the United Earth Forces, UEF, and the Kharrians had dragged on for decades. The Kharrians, a ruthless and war-hungry species, had terrorized countless star systems, their once proud empire now a shell of its former glory, consumed by the hunger for domination. The Earth had fought back valiantly, but the cost had been steep. Planets had been lost, countless lives had been sacrificed, and the war seemed endless. Jela's once proud race, the Kharrians, were now a shadow of their former selves. She, a high-ranking officer of the Kharrian military, had seen everything crumble around her. With every battle, the Kharrians lost more territory. Jela had witnessed the death of her friends, her comrades, and her people. The Earth forces had grown stronger, their tactics more precise, their technology more advanced. Now, Jela found herself on the front lines of a desperate last stand. Her fleet had been decimated, and her last remaining ship was barely functional. With no other choice, Jela had ordered her crew to take the ship deep into hostile territory, knowing they would never make it out alive. They didn't. The ship had been shot down over a desolate, barren planet, a place that had once been a peaceful garden world, now reduced to a wasteland by the ravages of war. Jela awoke alone in a ruined cityscape, her armor torn and scorched, her once pristine uniform now a grim reminder of defeat. The crash had left her injured and alone, surrounded by nothing but the echoes of destruction. She had no idea where she was, how far she had fallen from the safety of her fleet, or whether she would survive long enough to meet her fate. She had heard the Earth forces were relentless, but she had not expected to be taken prisoner. Her mind, trained for combat and war, could not fathom what awaited her. The Earth soldiers were known for their ruthless efficiency, and Jela had prepared herself for the inevitable. When she felt the cold barrel of a gun press against her back, she knew it was the end. But she was wrong. "Don't move." The voice was calm, measured, and distinctly human. It was not the voice of an enemy bent on execution, but of a soldier standing guard over something he considered his responsibility. Jela stiffened, but her instincts quickly kicked in. She could fight, she could resist, but she also knew that in this new world, resistance was futile. She had been captured. If the human wanted to kill her, they would do it now. But they didn't. Instead, the soldier, a young man no older than 25, kept his weapon trained on her but made no move to attack. He stood there, studying her, his face unreadable. His armor was battered and dirty, his uniform patched together from years of combat, but his gaze, his eyes, were not full of hatred, as she had expected. There was something else there, something she couldn't quite place. Jela slowly stood, her mind racing for options. She was a soldier, a leader, and her training had prepared her for everything. But this was something entirely new. She had faced Earth soldiers before, fought them on countless battlefields, and always expected the same thing: death, brutality, a quick end to her suffering. But not this. "You're not going to kill me?" Jela asked, her voice hoarse from the crash, but strong nonetheless. The soldier shook his head slowly. "No, I don't think that's necessary." Jela's mind raced. Why hadn't he killed her? Was this some sort of trap? Was he toying with her, making her think she might survive only to slaughter her later? Or was it something else entirely? "What do you want from me?" she demanded, her eyes narrowing. The human soldier looked at her, his expression softening. "I don't want anything from you. I don't want to kill you. I'm just trying to help you." Jela blinked, her mind struggling to comprehend the words. Help her? Why? How could this human, this enemy soldier, offer help? They were enemies, locked in a war that had torn apart entire civilizations. There was no reason, no logic, no reason for mercy. You're asking me to believe you, after everything my people have done? Jela said, bitterness creeping into her tone. After the destruction we've caused, the lives we've taken, you expect me to trust you? The soldier exhaled, stepping closer. I'm not asking you to trust me, but I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to help you get out of here. Jela stiffened, confused. You want to help me escape? He nodded. I do. The words were as foreign to her as anything could be. She had been prepared for an Earth soldier to gloat, to revel in her defeat, to watch her suffer. But this was not what she had expected. She could not fathom it. The idea that this soldier would offer help, that he would care enough to give her a chance, was something she simply didn't know how to process. You don't want anything from me? She asked again, her voice softening slightly, though still skeptical. No, he replied, shaking his head. I just want to survive. I don't want to kill anyone anymore. I've seen too much of that already. Jela's breath caught in her throat. Could it be possible that after everything, this soldier had experienced the same loss, the same pain, the same horrors that she had? Was he like her, just another soldier fighting because that was all he had ever known? She had been raised to hate Earth, to believe that humans were nothing but violent animals, but now she wasn't so sure. For the first time in years, Jela felt something stir inside her, something she hadn't felt since before the war. Something human. Hope. She glanced at the soldier, his outstretched hand offering not vengeance, but a chance. A chance for survival, for redemption, for something beyond the endless cycle of violence and death. I don't know why you're doing this, Jela said, her voice quieter now, her tone uncertain. But I will take your offer, human. I will trust you for now. The soldier nodded, lowering his weapon as he stepped forward to help her. That's all I can ask. As they moved together through the ruined city, Jela began to see the war from a different perspective. This soldier, a mere human, had made the choice not to kill her, not to finish the job that so many of his comrades would have done without hesitation. He had chosen mercy over revenge, compassion over brutality. And as they walked side by side through the wasteland of a war-torn world, Jela realized something that she had never considered before, that even in the deepest darkness, there was always a flicker of light. The war had taught her to fight, to survive, and to trust no one. But this human soldier had taught her something different, that sometimes survival was about more than just fighting. Sometimes survival was about finding the courage to be something better than the violence that had defined the world. As they left the wreckage behind, Jela knew that, whatever came next, she would never be the same. And maybe, just maybe, she and the human soldier could forge a path forward, a path that had nothing to do with war, but everything to do with the possibility of peace.